Greetings everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. I'm your host, Napalm Dawn, and today we're taking a look at Marvel Duel the night after a new patch went live. So, the new patch changed quite a bit of things in the game. You may find decks are going to go quite differently than they did before. And we also have a new quote-unquote hero, and that is actually a skin for Thor that is Angela. For Angela, like a lot of the other alternate skins, she drops to 22 health and she gives you an extra battle gem on start. So going through the ones who have skins now, we have Captain Marvel, which has a similar skin. I've been running her for quite some time. Iron Man has two of them. One more card in the shop for the first 3 turns for Superior. And then Prime Armor is one more battle gem on start with 22 health. Symbiote Spider-Man is similar to Superior. Iron Man, Hela has no skins, and Elektra has no skins. Now, in these cases, you can buy them here directly. Symbiote Spider-Man is currently in my store, and Superior Iron Man was in my store. Looking at the conversion of 35, that requires at least about $6. That's really a pretty decent deal. Honestly, the 60 and the 20 are not too bad. Cosmo is available for 80, so he's going to cost you at least $15. If you go with the 120 for 20, you will be able to buy him at 80, and then you'll have 40 left over where you can decide to get a suit like that. A big expensive gold coin or gold shield point, Spider-Man Miles Morales, is in there. If you're not familiar with him, he gives Spider-Verse characters a buff, and at 4 stars, 24 power. In the Spider-Verse, some things have changed for them. Doc Ock has gotten a bit of a buff, and I do believe Sandman has gotten a buff. Also, they've added some new locked cards. Wasp is here, who says at the end of the turn, for each Guardian character on your battlefield, this card not included, this card gains 1 armor. So she was actually good for my old, or my primary, Thor Asgardian deck. I kept thinking that was Guardians, as in Guardians of the Galaxy at first, and I realized I'd been misreading this the whole time. I'm not too sure who Wasp is. I totally admit that. I don't really know. Klaw got a big change. Before taking an action, give all of your support characters +1 power. This is pretty good with the Ghost Suit. It used to be that he would buff people in the store. I liked old Klaw better because it meant he was very tactical. Right now he's just very plain Jane. He's sort of kind of a Ghost Suit to a certain degree. He only works with support characters, but the game has added a lot of support characters by shifting people around. That's by far one of the biggest changes in the early game. Wasp is pretty cool, especially with certain decks. And then that's pretty much it for the locked. Neutral, can't say I saw too many changes here in terms of additions. Wasp changed. She used to give armor to guard characters. She doesn't do that anymore. Kind of, yeah, I've adapted to that. That's not particularly too bad. I just don't really run her anymore. But here's some of the big ones. So Nanotech Symbiote has changed the battle style from Guardian to Attack. James Rhodes has had a pretty big change too. Convergence Beam, Suitcase Armor, Whiplash is really big, going from 10 to 20. Laufey moved from Attack to Guardian, which really does make a lot of sense, to be honest. All the people he buffed were Guardian types anyway. Skrull Soldiers changed, which I don't like. I put them into Hydra because you would summon a Hydra on the other side of the field from you, and Skrull Soldiers would pop them. Now it's you give your intergalactic war characters +1, 2, 4 power. I think, again, less tactical. It went up in power, but it lost 2 armor. So that means what happened with the change is that how long is this thing going to be on the field to actually buff your intergalactic wars? This, I think, was more useful. And here's all those changes that we talked about with support. Ronan, Captain Marvel, Minerva, all moved over to support from Attack. Supreme Intelligence got nerfed, switched to support. Moonstones got switched to support. Yanrog got buffed. Spectrum, Owl, Hood's Cloak, Drax. Oh my god. Drax is a fucking monster now, and I like it. Because I bought into it, and he just carried a match that I did in casual. So his power went up to 12. It used to be when he defeated somebody, he could attack again. And then it was once, twice, 4 times. Now he has a new skill, 1, 2, 4 action times. When he defeats somebody, 2, 4, 8 power. He is a absolute monster. Yondu, when a friendly Guardian character defeats a character, deal damage to all opponents equal to the number of your Guardian characters. Now he's Pierce, defeat, equip Yaka Arrow on 1, 2, 3 friendly characters with no equipment. I like that. I think it fits his character a bit more. Moondragon, change the power of 1, 2, 4 characters his card is facing to 1. Now it's before another friendly Guardian character launches the attack. Change the power of their target to 1. This now combos pretty well with Drax. Adam Warlock got a buff that he really needed. I mean, Warlock should not be down at a 2. Mantis is now a really good buffer. Her power's gone up, and she now buffs at 3, 6, 12 instead of 2, 4, 8. Groot got a little bit of a switcheroo. More tanky, a little less attacky. Gravity Mines, Yaka Arrow, change. Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Sandman got a buff. Doc Ock got a buff. Before attacking a stunned opponent, 4, 8, 16. Now it's 6, 12, 24. Some people said it needed it. I really hate Doc Ock stun decks. And this to me is going to be a nuisance. However, I have decided to buy into that a little bit. When you want to craft a card and you have these gems over here. So see how it says I need 1200 neutral gems. I have 2240. If I had 5 neutral gems, it would say, okay, well, you don't have enough neutral gems. Let me take from your universals. That's what the new crafting system is, and it's pretty cool. Ooh, Abomination is a nice lead for the dot. Wow. And I think there's so many things that you can push into a Doc Ock stun deck. Now, I mean, Hela with the Last Words, although Last Words is late in the battle, you want Doc Ock going early. Abomination's pretty strong for that. Explosive Trap is really good for dealing with ego. So you could have done a Moondragon before to limit him, and then maybe an Iron Man to pop. But now you have Explosive Trap, which says when an opponent deals, this is a typo by the way, when an opponent deals 150 or more damage in a single attack, deal 150 damage to that opponent, trigger it once in battle. This could really set up a good thing for getting rid of egos. And ego has really been taking off a lot lately from what I've seen. I've faced way more ego decks, Hella decks, Doc Ock stun decks now than I ever have before. And something weird happened to me in a lot of my ladder matches on my primary deck lately. And that is where it used to be my first turn was almost always guaranteed to be a bunch of characters. I started getting one characters and equipment all the time. And it really messed up my flow pretty badly to only be able to pull down a character and then like the rest of the stuff was equipment, sometimes not even usable equipment. I kind of hate that Rocket's jetpack and Mantis all occupy the same slot as Rocket. Slapping this on Rocket does help him get going early. And I understand if Mantis was helping him and the jetpack was helping him, Rocket could be a really early game killer. And it's also low level equipment for Drax. However, Drax with Drac daggers is a really good combo. Gravity Mine got changed. Now it's last words. It's any character, by the way. Deal 7 damage to a random opponent and 3 damage to characters adjacent to the opponent. Triumph removed this equipment, so if you lose the round, you keep it. However, if you win, it goes away. It's pretty solid. It's like a really good absorbing man to a degree. And there's an ego. And of course, you know, Gladiator. That's another one that gets super annoying when you have to deal with Gladiator egos. But I've made a new deck that is mostly designed to try and get ego out there and buffed and doing his job. However, when I ran this in casual, it mostly was Helatunes doing a lot of the work. Actually, I take that back. It was Drax. It was an equipped Drax that was doing all the work. My early game was kind of solid with Sandman tanking, holding down the fort a little bit. Here's another thing that I kind of hate. Doc Ock and Sandman combo the whole stun thing really well. But look at where Web Shooters is. Web Shooters is in the same slot as Doc Ock and Sandman. So your choices are either running a lot of stuns, but then nobody to exploit it, or you have to choose Sandman or the Web Shooters. I'm going with Sandman. The really sad thing about this new deck, though, is I have a lot of buffs for attack because it's really designed for like Drax and Ego. I kind of want to throw Sandman a bit of a bone here. I'd like to get some Guardian equipment on him. I could go Heavy Shackles, but Aim Bomb has helped, and Call to Arms helps too. I think plus 10 armor stun. Yeah, you know what? I think I will go with Heavy Shackles. Giving him a bunch of armor so he survives longer to stun, I think would be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and give this a little quick run here. Now, this deck sort of has 2 meta attacks in it. It has Ego, and it has Doc Ock stun. it doesn't really have protections against a lot of the major metas now, which you need Explosive Trap, you need Vision, you need some Iron Man, you need some Moon Dragon. So it's interesting how this game is shaping up. I like it better when you build a deck for your own will and you exert it. Constantly having to build a deck that is always countering the meta of the time. Alright. Fine. We'll do it. Ghost and Claw. You take 1 damage. Alright, well, let's see. Okay, that kind of makes up for not grabbing Rocket. I mean, Klaw will give everybody on the field extra time. Not that it's going to matter too much over here. But yeah, I like when you're constantly building to defend against all the meta at the time, how much are you getting to exert your own will of your own deck? And that's what sucks about adapting. Oh, wow, this is okay. Very, very, very interesting over here. See, now, if that was Klaw, I'd be buffing that Mantis. Alright, so we got a little bit of spider action going. It would have been nice if I could have had Gwen buff Gwen. But oh well. Keeping Klaw alive for a little bit and helping some others out. By the way, those symbiotes have definitely saved some rounds for me that come off of Spider-Gwen. However, I had Drax get changed into a symbiote 1 round last battle. And, yeah, that really sucked. Alright, so what we're going to do here, mill her. Rocket coming in, should be getting the bonuses from Mantis. May as well finally hit up the store. Do a refresh. Sandman solid. I could... Alright. Okay. Alright. This is going to be interesting. So I have my Guardians in effect on the left, and I have my Spiders in effect on the right. Actually, those boots might not be that great for Rocket. It seems like it actually just straight up skipped his turn, and now he's missing Mantis. The stuns are working pretty well, though. And see, Ulysses buffs himself, which is decent. So, you know, what do you guys like more? Did you like the tactical story Ulysses, or do you like how he is now? I kind of liked him tactically in the store. He was fun for the early game. Alright, reduce the cost of all support cards. Summon a copy, it's an illusion. When a Spider-Verse character enters the battlefield... Sure, why not? I literally never picked this before. Hush Now is good. Abomination Charge is good for later. Gonna cycle the store. Ooh. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, I'll pull that down.
This one is ready for
I'm going to keep that Hush now in the store. It has some synergy with Doc Ock, but generally Doc Ock is going early. If he's still around to take advantage of Hush now, I would consider that to be a weird round. Oh yeah, he hit a stun character. 2 stun characters. Nice. Oh, that's somewhat satisfying to finally be running Doc Ock Sandman against somebody else. But look at that Drax. Good. Did enough damage to Drax there. See, feeding a symbiote to Drax does suck a little bit. And the Hush now for a little bit of a save. Telling you, man, Drax is an absolute beast now if you get him with some good equipment. Alright. Hush now is good. Huh. I am good. This might be a little bit of a weird play. But I want to give Rocket some help. Huh, that's funny. Oh, and look who it is. It's Ego. Very, very interesting. And I have an Abomination charge in hand. Drop an Abomination charge on Ego's first turn. Oh, look at that Gladiator. Mother Gladiator. Unreal. Hate that card. Wow. Mjolnir on an Asp. There it is. There's the thing that I said would probably never happen, is Doc Ock lasting until Hush now goes out. Huh. Alright. Klaw gotta go. That there. Oh, and there's Drax. Man, would I love to get some equipment on Drax there. Should have... If I had the gems, I could have pulled Korg down to give... Yeah, that's another change that I don't like. I used to like cycling Korg for providing armor to people. That's another change that I'm not too fond of. Again, less tactical. Maybe they're just trying to speed the game up a little bit. Damn. That sucks. So much for Ego getting a boost this round. Drax is... yeah. Alright. Alright. Drax might carry us on this one a little bit. Okay, cool. Stabilized a little bit. Sadly, nothing for Ego. Ah, heavy shackles. That's the one reason why it's in the deck. But now I kind of need to... Alright. Rocket's got to go. Ego needs a little bit of help. Ooh, an Ebony Blade. And Hela. See, here's the other part of the deck coming through. Very interesting. Starburst on Drax, I'll take it. A Resolute, yeah, that's a good store. Pumpkin Bombs, the Resolute Assault. So it's weird. I have an Ego out there. I have a Hela out there, and I have a Doc Ock Sandman. Like 3 of my major conditions in the deck. All out there. Big hit at the beginning, though. Well, Ego got one boot. Ah, losing Drax without him doing anything hurt. We'll have a Hela Maverick, though. Nice. See, this is an oddly layered deck. And it's weird to see, like, so many of the win conditions for the deck be out on the field at once.
I am glad to have this.
Upgrading the store, I don't think is going to help that much right now. I'd rather dedicate everything to purchasing power. And it's certainly none of that. A third Hush now. Yep, it's none of that either. Could do it. This is a really desperate scenario to have 6 cards stunned. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get an early feed into Ego. I'd like to get some equipment on Drax. Oh god, this. Yeah. That arm. Oof, look at that. The bow and the armor. Hopefully Hela doesn't bite it before Mavericking. And she does. Gladiator with a bow. Stuns are doing some work, though. and there's lots of stuns. Unfortunately, nobody around to take advantage of it. This is rough. And exact damage. Okay. Went out in second place. Gladiators are bastards. I could create him if I wanted to, and put him in the deck. Highly considering it. But again, is pretty good layering with Ego. Gladiator takes care of some of the things that Ego doesn't before Ego gets established. So if I were to create him, I need 1,200 Guardian of the Galaxy crystals. I don't have it, so it would actually take it away from the Universals. Now he sits in the 3 slot, and in that particular deck that I was just running, the 3 slot for Guardians, yeah, I would pull Cosmo out for that. Cosmo's in there to just, if I get him early, you know, boost Rocket for some kills. I used to have fun trying to manipulate around Nebula's bonuses and everything like that. It's fun. I have a deck where I run a Nebula. Drop in Gladiator here in the 3 slot. I would probably bump Cosmo out and keep the Drax daggers. Really wished I could have gotten some equipment there on Drax. And also debating, you know, I could create a second ego for the Star Boost, which if you click here, you'll see you get double the basic power and armor of the characters defeated. And then eventually quadruple. I've kind of been hoping to get like an Ego Godslayer out there, or a Ego Yaka Arrow eventually, but just didn't hit. And then there's, you know, there's Moondragon. So, well, there you go, guys. There are the changes to Marvel Duel. A lot of the early game stuff, I think, has changed quite a bit. What do you guys think about the loss of a lot of the tactical store manipulations? I mean, like, Gwen still does kind of what she does. You drop her down, she buffs somebody, and she largely leaves. And then that's kind of the end of it. But then other cards that did that, like dropping Klaw to buff the store, and then he's kind of done after that. But now he has the buffing the support people on the field. Like, what do you like compared to the old style of doing it? Did you like doing tactical things with the store and dropping a card for a buff and then getting rid of them, like Korg or Wasp? Or do you like it where they get some use? You put them on the field and then they stay there and they do a couple things. And, you know, what do you think about situations like this? Doc Ock and Sandman and Web Shooters, all three of these guys have synergy. Which is the best? Running Web Shooters on some of the support characters and getting rid of Sandman, or... I like the Doc Ock Sandman combo a little bit more, and I'm glad I got the shackle on him, but God, he got his ass beat in that last round there. So anyway, thanks for checking out this video on G4G. Let me know what you guys think about some of the questions I've been asking here. Have a good one.